A lot of all these clubs, they can't even pay player a living wage.
So what you're trying to tell me now is someone playing for Edo Queens cannot afford a car?
Yes.
Right? Welcome to the show, The Street Apostle. The show will talk about life and the everyday struggle. Today's episode, I'm with a special friend of mine, an all-star, a top name, and a name everyone in Nigeria should know. I want her to introduce herself.
Well, we're right here. It's me, Desire Oparanazi, on The Street Apostle.
And today's episode, we're talking about sports, athletes, and everything concerning our everyday life. And I want her to come and tell us how it be. So first of all, let me start with how this whole thing how you start this whole journey of being an all-star player.
Well, it all started like a joke. You know, back in the days, growing up, we...
Feel free, with the speak anything.
Of course. So back in the days, we didn't have the platform we have now.
No.
It was all fun, running around barefoot on the streets with boys, and it was a plaything for me, you know, playing football on the streets with boys, and it became a part of me. It became something I loved doing. It was fun, and every day, every other day, you find me back on the street playing football, and you know, I grew up with it, and I continued playing primary school up until secondary school, and it was up until secondary school and I realized that I could actually make something off of football.
So tell us, which secondary school you go first?
Girls' secondary school in Kenebo, in Owerri.
In Owerri, Kenebo, okay. Then
we were playing football in inter-school sports, and I happened to be part of the school team, and that was how it all started. And I got scouted by a local coach that coaches a church team, actually, because
there in Owerri?
Yes, you know, all in Owerri. So there was a church program where they said Mary League girls, they need to play football for church and all of that. So that coach scouted me from school to go and represent the church. So after the church tournament, the coach now decided to form an actual football club from that church team. So that's how I got to play in my first local club, you know, back then in Owerri. From there, you know, it was all a joke until it wasn't a joke anymore. And the then Ebonyi State Governor, Sam Egu, at that time, now got interested in owning a football team in Ebonyi. So that was how he bought the team to come and represent Ebonyi State at that time. So that's how we became a football club.
A professional football club, okay.
You know, and from there we went to actually play a tournament to actually pick up the slot to play in the Nigerian Women's League. Yeah, somewhere in Kaduna. That's a Ebonyi State team. So while we were playing in that tournament, a coach now saw me, a Bayelsa Queens coach. He was actually the national team coach at that time. I think the under-17 national team coach at that time, Coach Roland Sinode. He saw me in that tournament and scouted me to come play for Delta Queens. So that was how my professional career started.
So you started from Delta Queens and then...
Yes, Delta Queens. Sorry, Bayelsa Queens. Then after Bayelsa Queens, I got to play... I was playing for the under-17 national team at that time.
From Bayelsa Queens, you already stayed to Super?
Because my coach, the club coach, was also the national team coach. So I got lucky to, you know, be in his books for him to have invited me to the national team. From there, I now moved to Delta Queens, where I played for the under-20. After the under-17 World Cup, I played under-20. I played in 2 World Cups for the under-20 before I now...
And you were playing local then? You were playing locally then?
Yes. So it was Bayelsa Queens, Delta Queens, and then Delta Queens was the last club I played for before I got my first professional contract to play outside the country back in 2012.
Okay, so from the scouts came watching you from the World Cup or where?
Yeah, it was from the World Cup. You know, World Cup is the biggest
platform,
yeah. So I clubs were watching. I think the last under-20 World Cup I played, it was in Japan, and I was still playing in that tournament when a club in Russia approached me. So while I was in that tournament, I signed my first professional contract. So from that tournament, I didn't even have time to come back home to prepare properly.
So
from there, I moved to Russia.
To play, how many years did you play in Russia?
It was just one season because I didn't like it there because
Why?
the experience wasn't really good. I went from a sub-Saharan African country to an extreme cold. It was around summer.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was around winter. I beg your pardon. Around winter, I think around towards the end of the year, around October, November.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. So it was extreme cold, minus 40 degrees.
Yeah,
so I've never had that experience before. It was tough, and I was only able to manage one season there, and I'm like, this is what professionalism is about. I don't think I can cope.
So after your one season there, what was your next step?
Yeah, after that one season, I spoke with my agent, and he's German. So with his influence, he have a couple of good relationships with some top clubs. So he got me a contract with VfL Wolfsburg.
That's Germany.
Yes, I moved to Germany from Russia. So in Germany, I also played for one season. Then I was young and, still trying to understand what being a professional is. And it was one season in Germany. I didn't have quite enough game time as much as I would have. So because of that, I had to move. From Germany, I moved to Turkey. I still played for about a season in Turkey before I finally moved to France, where I now spent the greater part of my career years.
Because I know for male it's not an easy journey to get to Europe, and not talk of you being a female and moving all those parts and going from year to year to year. I know the challenges will be very, very. So, but tell me, what would be the most challenging part for you? When you say I suffer away.
Well, I think it was when I was still trying to find my feet. When I was back, I was still back home because I had issues with family.
Okay.
They didn't really, at first they didn't support me.
Because let me just cut you short. I surprised why, because for Nigeria here now, you don't be say your daughter, she gets ugly or she gets wow before she go play football. That's why I think because see the last Super Falcons now,
fine girls everywhere.
So, but now I can't understand. So, okay, now parents don't they allow their daughters to come in, don't they?
Yeah.
So I don't say you now the journey beginning no good easy.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because at that time we didn't have a lot of role model to to look up to, and for our parents to actually see how successful you can be in this career path. That was not there. But now, I mean, when you mention the likes of myself, Asisat Oshoala, Michelle Alozie, I think during my time it wasn't as easy because we didn't have a lot of role models to look up to, and our parents didn't really know a lot about women's football because I came from a typical African home. They don't believe football is for a female child. So I mean, my mom, after playing on the streets, my mom will spank me. Each time she sees me running around on the streets, she will beat me.
So at what level did they say, okay, this thing on the pay? What level did they believe?
I think it was at that point where I had to leave town for the very first time when the Ebonyi State governor now picked interest to buy the team, because I mean it was time for me I was going to leave home for some time. That was the very first time I would have to travel, be away from home. So I needed my parents' consent to make it happen. I had to talk to my mom.
That would be like a very deep decision for them to make.
Very, very difficult. At first, my dad was not home. It was just my mom. So my coach came to the house to, try and talk to my mom. I remember, I can't forget that moment. My mom she abused my coach. There's nothing she didn't tell him, she insisted that my coach leaves me alone and all of that. But being, I wouldn't say, maybe I was stubborn, and at some point the stubbornness paid off and all that. But I was crying. I told her this is what I want to do. So she now said, okay, if this is going to happen, it's not her decision to allow me leave home. I have to tell my father. So my father traveled. We waited until he came back, and he now, I think the bargaining chip for me, for him to have allowed me leave home and play football, was he made me promise him that I'm going to get a degree.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my promise to him. He said, for as long as you go to school and play football, I will allow you. So it was based on that
So did you have see an opportunity to shuffle the both of them?
While abroad, yes, but it was online. It wasn't a physical school. It was an online degree I did with Hertfordshire University in the UK. I did business and sport management.
Oh.
Yeah, so so all of that, I think that was the most difficult moment, having to convince my family to allow me play football.
So in this your journey, which part of the part where you take phone, call your mom and say, Mom, okay, life done better now?
Well, I didn't even have to call her. She knew. The moment she saw, I think it was the first Under-17 World Cup, the very maiden edition of the Women's Under-17 World Cup in 2008. So they saw me on TV, and it was a proud moment for all of them. So yeah, she it dawned on her that her daughter can actually make something
take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about our female football and female athlete. Spell me with that English.
Yeah, athleticism. Jesus. Yeah, athleticism.
Athleticism. Yes. Yeah. Because these days, I did notice that most females don't get interest, or just money don't take over the world. So I want to know if there's anything you want to tell the government to improve, and
the truth is, I mean, sports is a business. In as much as it's entertainment, it's recreation. It's also, there's a business aspect of it, and one thing we, from this part of the world, one thing we haven't realized yet, or maybe we know it yet but have refused to do what is required, is long-term investment. Because we're I don't know, for lack of a better word, I would say we're short-sighted, and we're quick for immediate gain, that we lose sight on the long-term gain. So I think it's a big problem in this part of the world. The resources are there, but I think the people at the helm of affairs, they are doing little or nothing to actually invest those resources where it is required for long-term gain. We don't have a structure. That's another thing that is lacking. No structure, no foundation, no grassroots development program. All of those things are lacking. If only we can set those foundations and think ahead, maybe have a 10-year plan, and forget whatever happens within the period of getting to that 10 years is a building process. We learn from it.
If you be the NFF president right now, what would be the first thing you could do?
Is to set up a department, like people that have the same vision, that are vision driven, that have the same goal,
that want the best for the
sport. That want the best. People that have actually gone through the system to actually understand what the actual players go through, so that when you're making decisions that will affect, directly or indirectly, that will affect the players, you that is seated here making that decision, it will be somebody that have gone through the
so
process,
would you advise for the old players to come into the board now?
Yes.
Old players to be NFF president, old players to be this, old players to be that?
It would be nice. It would be nice to have a couple of players, in those roles. That way it's easier to make decisions that will actually benefit the players. But just being an ex-international, being an ex-player shouldn't be the only criteria. You should have a degree to, for better understanding, because football is science. It evolves. Do you understand? Some players like Anne Agomano, for example, our veterans, the people that have played before my set and all of that. What football used to be back in their own days is not what it was when I played. I just retired 2 years ago. And from 2 years ago to now, it has changed. It has evolved, you know. So we need programs for maybe retired players, you know, they need certification courses to actually understand what football is currently, to be able to occupy those positions, to make the right decisions that will affect.
So let me cut you short. We need beautiful girls also in the football team. Okay, you know, guys resemble Giringori before you play ball for Super Falcons. We need beautiful girls also wearing the jerseys, making us proud outside Nigeria. Beautiful girls. We watch ball, everybody will invest everybody. The girls will be like Giringori.
We have fine girls now. Was I not fine?
Now you be the same. Before you, I don't want to call their names.
And again, let me, to be totally honest, personally, what I think the problem is with the way we look in this part of the world and the rest of the world, like abroad, Americans, Europeans, it's a whole lot of, it's a different appearance. You know, so I think the things that actually contribute to that is dieting. You get, so some of all these professional clubs abroad, they have dietitians in their squad. You know, they have dietitians, they have psychologists, they have fitness trainers.
So tell the girls to reduce their carry and semo.
Exactly. So I can't mention one club in Nigeria that have, I mean, I'm talking about women's club now, that have, you know, those professionals as part of their backroom staff. I mean, they don't do portion. When I was playing abroad, we do a lot of portion control. Like somebody like me, I'm on the big side. So when I'm not training, I put on weights, you know, very fast. There is a scale. I climb on that scale every day. If I am maybe 50 gram or 1 kg more than I should, there is a punishment for me in training that day. After the normal program for the whole team, I will stay back to, you know, cover a couple of more rounds to make sure I shed those fats. You know, players are kept in check. They make sure they eat balanced diet. There's protein, there's carb, there's fruits. You know, all the minerals, all the components on dieting, food dieting. They make sure the players get it. There are supplements for these players to take, you know, after games and all of that, and even before games. That I didn't experience it when I was playing in the in the local league here. I'm talking about club side now.
Club side,
yeah. So all of that, and your training. I mean, training is not easy. You're zapping strength. You know, you're losing calories. So you should eat well. You should,
match up with it,
exactly. So that's we don't get it. So it's kind of somehow affects the way we look. And also another factor is some of these coaches here. I'm not trying to criticize anybody. If you're going to tell ourselves the truth, now I'm being very honest. Some of these coaches, they didn't go to coaching course, so they don't even know what it entails to train these girls. You would bring your girls to training, and training that should be for like 90 minutes, you know, 1 hour, 30 minutes at best. Players will be training for 2 hours, 3 hours just for one training session. It's not healthy. It's
because the coaches are not aware.
They are not aware, you know. So you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. You know. So these things affect players' health. It affects players' well-being, and it makes some players they get prone to injury. I've trained under a coach here in Nigeria that he doesn't like us drinking water. There's something called water break during training. Here, coach will tell you, it's as if you drink water, all the trainings that he's been drilling you for, that you will lose fitness or something. But abroad, they will force us to drink. Even when you're not thirsty, they will tell you, for as long as you're sweating out, you're excreting sweat, you need to drink water. You know, so those are two different experiences. That's to tell you that there are some coaches here that know what they are doing, while there are some that they are not even close to knowing what they are doing. So these are two different experiences that I've had that have made me, draw this conclusion. That so sometimes when you look at our female footballers back home, these are some of the factors that actually affect the way they look and all of that.
Because that Amstel Mortar advert we didn't do one time, man. That one no go at all.
I was supposed to be in that advert.
That advert no go at all. That advert they try to do with Tiwa Savage, no work.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I remember.
So, okay, let me ask this. If, let's say, how to put down, I want to put down the nicest way, I want to put down the best way possible. Okay, do you see yourself coaching? Doing a coaching job?
Well, being a coach is, I'm not entirely writing it off.
Yeah.
But it's not the first thing on my table, on my list, right?
Yeah.
I want to be, I would definitely do something around football, but I would rather be where I can effect positive change, and being a coach will not avail me that opportunity.
You think so?
Yes. Being a coach, there is only so much you can do, or your work is
only around the team.
Only around the team, around the field. But I want to be where I can actually effect change, positive changes to make sure our football gets to the next level.
Okay, let's say there's a girl out there that wants, a young girl that wants to take this football thing to the next level. Give her advice. What should she do? She's in the deep part of Nigeria. She's in Ekulobia right now, deep down. Tell her what she could do. Well,
it's difficult, to be totally honest. It's very difficult because here, what platform do we have for a girl child that wants to play football? Most especially those toddlers, teenagers. The system doesn't favor them. Me, I will always advise anybody, if you're within your teenage years, go to school first.
Okay.
You get, because here, you can't go to school and study. It's very difficult.
Okay.
It's very difficult. Not that it's impossible, but it's very difficult. You have to have, let's say, for example, if you're playing for a club, you have to have a coach that is very understanding.
Yeah.
A coach that means well for you, that sees beyond just the football, and that sees maybe 10 years, 20 years after your football career.
So?
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you need a coach like that. So it's very difficult. There's one girl I spoke to recently. She's in Unical.
Okay.
I spoke to her uncle and herself too. She said she wants to play football, but there's no football academy in Calabar. So during holiday, I made contact for her to come to Lagos. There's actually one football academy I can vouch for, the Lily Legends Academy. So she was meant to come to Lagos, but during her holiday period, there was no space in the camp for her to stay. So we moved it for next time she will have her break from school.
Yeah.
So what I told her, she said she didn't want to play football according to what her uncle told me. So I told her, school is very important.
Yeah.
Really, nobody will dispute that fact.
Because education, you need education in whatever you do.
I always tell people that it's better to have a certificate and not need it than need it and not have it.
True.
You get, so have it, keep it there, even if you won't have any need for it in the future, but just have it there. Yeah. So I'm like, football, for how many years will you play it? Yeah, for women, highest 15, 16, 20 years at best. Then what happens after that?
Yeah, because I even noticed most of the female Falcons, I don't think they can speak as much as you can. They don't, no need to hide it. I don't think they can speak as much as people watch their press conferences and everything. They only bring out one person to always speak for them. What's that white girl? Or Alozi or something to speak for them. The others are just like,
Well, that's a narrative that have been going on for some time now, but it has actually changed recently.
Okay.
Recently we've gotten a couple of players who are, they've helped themselves while they're playing, they're studying, and even doing some self-taught education and all of that. So I think that narrative, it's changed. It used to be like that back in the days, but now things are better. Players know better now. They know better how to manage their finances now.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, women's football, we don't earn as much as the men.
Okay.
The pay disparity is like the ocean. It is that huge. The difference in payment is as big as the ocean, but a lot of you don't know that. You think women, they earn as much as the men.
Yes, now, because Ashibi Tinubu shared $100,000 for everybody.
If I tell you they've not gotten that money
Till now,
would you believe me? So that aside, the players are being owed. They are underpaid, you know, and I mean, a lot of them, a lot of all these clubs, they can't even pay player a living wage. You know, something that they can actually live off.
Live on.
You get, and some of them are breadwinners of their family. A lot expectations are high.
So what you're trying to tell me now is someone playing for Edo Queens cannot afford a car. No, we're just talking to make things better. We have to talk things out to make things better.
Yes.
So are you trying to tell me?
Yes, based on the Edo Queens salary, except there is a side hustle, except maybe the player is lucky enough to play for the national team, you know, because that's where the little, that's where players earn more than what they are earning in the club, you know. So, except the player is playing for the national team, and also if there is a side hustle, but off of what they make with Edo Queens, you know, no, I don't think so, because you have expenses. Because apart from putting the players in camp, they feed themselves. Sometimes when you get injured, you break your knee, you break your ankle, clubs will abandon you. Seriously. Some, they take care of them. Some, they will just, you know, toss you to the corner because you're of no use to the club anymore, and there are no insurance policy to cover players' welfare and players' union.
So do you think that's the reason why major Nigerian players play for money?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Because they want to just secure their side first.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the major reason. Yes.
Okay. So, tell me, what's the next thing for you now? Because I know you don't need your football chapter. What's the next chapter for you? Acting?
Well, acting. Well, now I'm into business full time. I have my own perfume brand, my Desire perfume. Yeah, so
that's it.
Yes.
My Desire. So hook yourself up with some Desire.
Very nice, and yeah, it's been in the Nigerian market since after my retirement, a little over 2 years,
2 years now,
and it's in a few supermarkets in Lagos and Abuja.
Would you go into fashion? Would you say something like doing your own clothing line?
Perhaps,
something?
Yes. Perhaps, yeah. Soon in the future, yes. And then I'm also doing freelance football analysis. You know, so I was at the last WAFCON, you know, doing
in Morocco?
Yes, in Morocco, doing color commentator. For the tournament, the first Falcon player to actually do that.
You see, I don't tell you that's no Sabi English. You don't say that you be the first to. Yeah, because I talk I'm not saying each other ones they no Sabi English or they no fit talk. But see how far away education don't carry you reach.
Maybe like that. I think it's also about wanting to be seen, wanting to be out there. You know, it's a matter of choice. I think some of these players, they are shy, they don't want to.
Yeah, because I was about to ask, the old legends who we need to see them again. Like, I tell you one name, you know of Stella Mbachu?
Yes,
she's from my, like, we're cousins or something like that. She's from my village or something. So we need to see them again after that chapter, like Messi, Akide, and once they just come on, we need to hear from them again. They should always come out and...
Yeah, so that's actually what my program will be about. Yeah. So it's about all those our legends. I want to bring them back into people's
faces to know them. Yeah, exactly. It's very important.
So that they get to be appreciated more, and people will really get to see the sacrifices and all they did for the likes of me and also for the likes of the current Falcon players as well. So she's there. I think she's one of the assistant coaches of Heartland women's football. Yes.
Shout out Stella Mbachu, man. Sarah, she's a top player.
Yeah. Right.
But anyways, Desire, I really appreciate you coming out for the show. It really means a lot to
pleasure.
me. I wanted to just discuss and have this conversation with one of these Falcons to understand what it be, the journey. Because I know it's not easy for male footballer, not talk of a female footballer, and coming out from this side of the world, Elaine. And then I know how hard it would be for your parents letting out their little girl to go out there. A beautiful one for that matter. Because before I said you must all be to play for Falcons.
So
but
that narrative don't change.
Don't change, believe me. So it's a good one, and I really appreciate you coming out. I know the world out there will really appreciate this, you speaking out with them, and they would love to hear you more. I know you have too many things coming out, so
Sure.
Nice one. It means a lot to me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
It's an absolute
pleasure.
Again,
also my people, this is another episode of the Street Apostle. You've heard it from the horse's mouth herself. You've heard it from the Skippo. I call her Skippo because she's Nigeria's top scorer. So if you beat the record. So talk on your brand, the stage is yours.
Yeah, My Desire perfume. This is our... Actually, our first production was in 2019. Okay. I was still very active then. I was playing on the background.
Was that the year you were the highest goal scorer?
No, it was 2014.
2014, okay.
So I was playing in the background. People didn't really know much about it, but it was in the market since 2019. Then after my retirement in 2023, I now decided to be the face of the brand, and we have three. At first, it was the blue one. That's our first production, My Desire.
Yeah.
So this one now gave birth to My Desire for You and My Desire number 9. So that number 9, that's my signature jersey while I was playing. So great fragrance. We produce them from Dubai. We bring them in from Dubai.
Is unisex, male or female?
Yeah, unisex, masculine and feminine. So, but either way, it depends on preference. Me, I prefer the masculine one.
Yeah.
It's preference for everybody. It's in various supermarkets across Lagos and Abuja. So, and we also have Instagram handle where you can reach us at My Desire Perfume on IG. And we also have a website, www.mydesirecare.com.ng. From there, you can place your order, and we deliver nationwide. We deliver to you nationwide. So
we'll have it at your door. Have yours, grab yours. But thank you again for watching this edition of the Street Apostle. I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you. Peace.